Well, the NHL's back in action in Toronto and Edmonton, and we're back with another edition of Tide Talks presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare system of Princeton Athletics. Joined today by Eric Robinson, class of 2018 and a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Joining us from Toronto ahead of the Blue Jackets' upcoming playoff series against the Maple Leafs. Eric, first off, thanks for taking some time during what I'm sure is a busy week for you. What's life been like inside the NHL bubble?
Yeah, no problem at all. Honestly, besides the practices, there's actually a lot of downtime, so no worries at all to be able to jump on here today.
Take us through what life has been like. I know you guys got together as a team in Columbus, flew up to Toronto. Sort of take us through from when you reported back to Columbus, finally got on the ice for your first practice this week, leading up to the playoff series this weekend.
Yeah, I spent a few weeks there for, phase 2 and phase 3 in Columbus, a little training camp there. And then, like you said, we traveled up here on Sunday, so we've been here half a week now, just kind of getting used to the bubble. The NHL did a great job of, providing whatever we needed, restaurants and different ways to stay active and keep ourselves entertained when we're away from the rink. We've just been kind of getting acclimated here the first couple days.
So from the time the NHL shut down and put everything on pause in mid-March until your first official practice earlier this week, where were you and what were you doing to try to make sure you were ready when games started back up? Like, how tough was it to find the sheet of ice to skate on during that downtime?
Yeah, I was back in Jersey and like you said, it was basically impossible for the first few months. So just trying to do as much as possible to stay active, stay in shape. It seemed like there were a lot of people who wanted to ensure that the season was going to happen, and obviously it's happening now. So just make sure you're on top of that. It was different types of training with gyms and rinks being closed. So going for runs and other things that, my body and hockey players aren't, quite as used to. So it was a good change of pace and definitely, kept things interesting.
How challenging is it going to be? I mean, you guys have one exhibition game tomorrow night, Thursday night against the Boston Bruins, and then Sunday you're into that first-round series against Toronto. What's the biggest challenge trying to get ready to jump back into a playoff series?
But yeah, there's no time to waste really. It's a 5-game series as opposed to the usual 7. So everyone's coming back and you just kind of got to dive in head first. There's not going to be a feeling out process. Every game is obviously important, but in the best of 5, it's even more important to make sure you're ready to go right from game 1 puck drop. So yeah, it's just going to be about being ready and basically a battle right from that first start.
Have to imagine it's been a couple of years since you played in an empty rink, and I know there won't be fans in the building for the NHL playoffs. I know the league's done a lot to kind of try to make it feel more like an NHL atmosphere. What are you expecting once you step out on the ice?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I think the weirdest part might be warm-ups if you don't see anyone. But I think once that game starts, and like I said, the intensity is going to be there right from the start, and people are going to want to win right away. So I think the intensity and once the game gets started, it'll be feel pretty natural.
Let's go back a couple of years to your time still on campus at Princeton in 2018. March 24th, 2018, you're skating for the Tigers in the NCAA tournament against Ohio State. 2 weeks later, you make your NHL debut in Nashville for the Blue Jackets. That kind of jump doesn't happen that quickly in a lot of sports. What do you remember about that 2-week stretch?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a blur. How exciting it was to win the ECAC title, get a chance to go to NCAA tournament with my class and my team that year was just amazing and obviously something I'll never forget. Unfortunately, we didn't make it past the first round, but yeah, it was very quickly after that I was on a plane to Columbus, so it's obviously a dream come true when I was able to sign that contract and just to be able to go play that game and then come back to school after and share those experiences and those memories with my classmates and my teammates from that year was something that was pretty special to me.
And that year, that 2017-18 season, certainly one of the highlights for Princeton athletics recently. You guys go from worst to first over a 2-year span, Princeton's first ECAC title in a decade. What stands out about that run to the title? I know a couple of overtime wins leading up to that NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, I think we had the talent for a few years. Our new coaching staff did a good job recruiting some players and some talent to come in, and it's just a matter of building that confidence. We had the right pieces, but we weren't used to winning, and we didn't have that winning mentality, and it took a few years to get there. But obviously, we stuck at it, stuck with the coaches, and believed in what they were doing, and came to the rink to work every day, and obviously, eventually, it paid off by our senior year.
You're one of 4 players from that ECAC championship team that have seen some time in the NHL. Yourself, Ryan Kuffner, Josh Tevis, and Max Verano, a couple of your classmates in there. How often do you get a chance to talk to them, and how often do you guys keep in touch?
Yeah, obviously we have that bond and that connection, being that we all still play. So, every once in a while we'll check in. And, even if we're not talking, we'll I'll be checking in on their games and their stats, see how things are going. We still have a group chat, too, with a few of the classmates from 2017, 18, 19. So we try and stay in touch as much as possible. And obviously every year, not this year, but when we can see each other at reunions, it's always a great time.
Eric, appreciate you giving us a little bit of a glimpse inside the NHL bubble. And I know you have to jump right back into it, but one exhibition Thursday night against the Bruins, and then jumping right back into that first-round playoff series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Eric, great catching up with you, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Eric Robinson, Princeton class of 2018, member of the Columbus Blue Jackets, joining us on this edition of Tide Talks.